Okay, it started.
Perfect. So this will be our comprehensive float training. I will go over the most common reimbursements and expenses that you will be making on float and claiming directly for review. I'll go over a couple different processes and how to essentially input those items into float. So then I will review it and then finance will approve it directly. So with all float expenses, you will get a login, which will guide you directly to this front page, and it'll give you a quick overview of all of any cards you might have, or any expenses, or any review. Mainly, as merchandisers, you're only going to be using the request portion, which will look like this. Now, obviously, you're going to see my expenses over here. These are all the reimbursement reports that I've made in the past and have been approved. For your end, obviously it'll show you yourselves and then anything that might be included into that reimbursement reports. For today's session, I will create a sample report. I'm not going to submit it right away. And then I'll cancel it directly. So then you guys can see the full process from beginning to end about how to create the reimbursement, how it'll apply to like through the pipeline between me and finance and how it will get approved and reviewed. And then we can go over the most common forms of reimbursements that you will be making as merchandisers. So we can start with on the initial request page for Float. You'll be prompted with this initial page showing all your pending or drafts for reimbursements if they haven't been submitted. And then once it's been submitted, it'll show as pending. To start a new sample report, you always want to click request reimbursement. You'll be prompted with this little pop-up menu. You can name the report whatever you want. I usually just leave it as is if it's going to be a new report for the time being. So this will be for today's date, which is the 30th. So I'll leave it as is. You want to select the appropriate team. Most of you will be under the same team. You should get the field team. I have multiple teams, but for the most part, you should just get access to the field team, which is fine. And then your approval policy will depend on your team as well. So you should only have one policy available, which is obviously reimbursement approval. And that's what we're looking to do today. Now, this submission policy will vary depending on what you're looking to get reimbursed for. So we are all under the Nespresso team. We shouldn't be selecting any other team, not merch team, not management, not field team, just Nespresso team. So when we're looking to reimburse for, let's do an example for mileage first. We'll look for mileage dash Nespresso team. And we'll click that and we can start our reimbursement report. This will make it so our first expense will come up as mileage for the Nespresso team. If we're looking to, say, reimburse for out-of-pocket expenses, same thing goes, out-of-pocket Nespresso team. So let's start with an out-of-pocket expense and click OK. Perfect. So now we're moving on to the next screen. While we let it load, it should pop up with a list of your expenses to your left and then a draft report. Okay, perfect. So initially on the screen, you're gonna get, if you have any receipts to drop in, you definitely can. But for this scenario, I don't have any ready to go receipts. So I'll just create an expense. Dropping a receipt will also create an expense. Either way works. But if you want to create the expense manually and then add the receipt later, you can definitely do that as well. Perfect. So we have our initial expense. So you can create multiple expenses in one report. So you can keep continuously adding expenses and you'll see them populate here as new expense 1, new expense 2, new expense 3. But for the time being, we'll work with our first expense and we'll move on. And if we need to add any more to our report, we definitely can. So In this scenario, we're going to be claiming an out-of-pocket expense. So let's say, for example, we wanted to claim a parking toll, for example. That's a common reimbursement that does happen within Nespresso. So as you can see, if you drop the receipt in, it might populate some of the terms from the receipt directly. So if it's a merchant name, we can claim for, I don't know, let's say we claim for City of Toronto. If you populate the receipt, it will take all the information from there and populate as much information as you can, and then you'll have to fill out the fields directly. For this tutorial, I'm going to go through every single procedure so then everyone can have it as a reference. So we're going to click out-of-pocket Nespresso TIMA submission policy. Very important because this will determine how the form looks throughout the rest of the process. If you click anything else, let's say finance, for example, it changes up the entire form and all the fields that you will have to fill out, and this will be incorrect as well. So let's go back to out-of-pocket Nespresso team, and we have the correct tags and fields ready to go. We're going to claim for the City of Toronto. Every description needs to be descriptive and needs a reasoning for the expense. So let's say we were doing merchandising at Canadian Tire, Eden Center. Parking toll, merchandising at CTC Eden Center. So let's say you were doing a store visit and you were going to CTC and Eden Center, and you're going to do a parking toll with a reasoning as to why. You're going to put in the appropriate date, and then you're going to match the exact amount that's on the receipt, total including tax. So let's say it was $10.50. You're going to match up to the appropriate code. So we, as merchandisers, you'll be working under the Nespresso program in merchandising. That hasn't changed. So that has always stayed the same. What's new now with the new finance policies is division, account numbers, and project tasks. So if we're going to be doing anything division related, we're never going to click merchandising. We're never going to click OPEX. We're always going to click sales assist. And that's never going to change. The Nespresso program is under sales assist. Then you're going to match up the project account number. So this essentially is the reason for the expense. Why did we do it? You don't have to match up, the numbers don't match up directly. They're basically a general description of what will link up directly with the account number. So if we're looking for something related to parking, we can scroll down and you'll see travel, parking, and tolls, and match it up since that's the most appropriate and related expense to a parking toll. Then your project tasks, depending on the out-of-pocket expense that you make, it will either be travel or third party. So anything travel related will come out as travel. So including mileage will come out as travel. If we're doing, say, you're claiming your phone bill or you're claiming some general supplies. Let's see. So let's do general supplies, for example, or storage. You're claiming a lock. That's a very common expense as well. This project task will change to third party. If it's not travel related, your project task out of pocket will always be third party. Any questions so far?
No.
All good?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then your tax amount. So there is a tax code for on each receipt, depending on the expense. For this purpose, we're just going to use HST because we have to claim HST here in Ontario. And then you're only going to include the tax amount, whatever that tax amount may be. Let's say it's 13% of $10.50. It should match up exactly to the receipt. All this information will be on the receipt already, so you don't really have to make any changes directly or do any math. Everything will be already added up for you. So 1.37 should be the tax amount. And then you always want to match up the receipt. So you always need a copy of the receipt. So always take a picture of the receipt to make sure that it adds up. And all this information is included directly in this form. Once that is said and done, you just want to double check, make sure that you go back to the top, make sure that you have the correct submission policy, make sure the merchant name is correct and it matches up to the receipt. Make sure your description always has a reasoning for the expense, such as merchandising at Eden Center, and what the expense was for, which is a parking tool in this scenario. We're going to put the exact amount, match it up to the receipt again. Your GL code is basically your program code. So if you're a merchandiser, you're going to be doing it under merchandising. If you're in the POS program, you're going to be doing it under demo C2C. Costco inline, you're going to be doing it under Costco. Pretty straightforward. If you're a territory manager, you're going to be doing it under TSR. In this scenario, we're a merchandiser claiming our parking toll, so we're going to leave it as merchandising. Division, we're going to always have it as sales assist. We're never going to touch merchandising or OPEX. Supplies, for this scenario, we were claiming parking tolls, so let's go back to parking tolls just to make sure that everyone is on the right page. And it all matches up to the description. So we claim in the description, we said it was a parking toll. We're going to match it up to the right account number, which is the most accurate. And then it's a travel related expense. So the project cost will be travel, not third party. Once all that information is accurate and you've guaranteed that, then you can push it for approval. So as long as all your other expenses are accounted for, you can add more expenses. Say we wanted to add an extra expense, we can. And you can, instead of doing individual expenses, you can have one big report with multiple expenses, and then you can get paid out directly for this. So in this scenario, we're only going to have the City of Toronto parking toll ready to go, and then we're going to get approval. So once we click get approval, our receipt is needed, so I'm going to put something random just for the time being. We're going to get approval, and you're going to notice that this reimbursement is now showing as pending, which is what you will see on your float page, on your float overview page. So once it's in this overview page, if you want to click and see the status of this reimbursement, you can go into it directly. You will not be able to make edits until it is fully reviewed. I will be one of the initial approvers in your scenarios, but you can see the waiting for approval. It'll show Carlos Cantillo and then pending approval from finance team. The activity log will show any changes that have happened in the past. And if you have any updates, you can reach out to the people that are waiting for approval. In your cases, it will be me. So I will be reviewing it. So if you have any questions on your float expenses, you can reach out to me directly, or if something is pending, I can reach out to finance directly and follow up to make sure that you are getting paid on time. So since this was just a sample tutorial, I'm going to cancel it so finance doesn't see it. But for the most part, that is the initial overview of float. Any questions?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
It's pretty
Yeah, it seems pretty straight.
Okay, good. Do you want to go any other scenario? Do you want to go over any other scenarios or something that you're looking to get reimbursed for once you have access to float?
I think I'm fine. Like I've been to every store that I'm responsible for, and I've never had any parking things, or like literally the only thing I would ever need to expense would be like miscellaneous supplies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have it very light on my end.
Okay, sounds good. Kunta, all good?
Please be very honest. If you do have any questions, now's the time to ask. We are here to review everything with you guys.
Yes, please. I can go over any other type of scenario that you might expect down the line. Feel free. I can do another sample, whatever is needed.
I guess that's it pretty much from our end. Like we'll be looking for just miscellaneous supplies and maybe parking. It would be like once in a year or something.
Okay. That's good. That's honestly perfect. So what I will do after this call, I will reach out to Angela, who's the administrator for Float, and she'll hopefully get all your accounts sorted out as soon as possible. By any chance, do you know if Angelina also doesn't have access?
No, even Angelina is not having access to this.
Okay. The only person I know for sure has access is JNL, because he does submit expenses pretty much every week. So I have seen his expenses and I've reviewed and approved on his regard. But he is full time, so I understand that he does need access because he is claiming more things on Float directly, which he is getting reimbursed for. Okay. If that wraps it up, that's fine. It's short call, but good productive call. So hopefully everyone learned a little something today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Just shoot me an email, a message, and then hopefully we'll get an update soon from Angela and we'll get your account sorted out.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. It was nice to like actually see it happen.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. You guys as well.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.